So we talked a little bit about, I briefly hinted at knowledge base, right? So I think if you go online and you read the data, the reports, the data, the things that people are saying, more and more customers want to be able to self-serve. So, I mean, as a live chat company, we like to think that everybody's going to come on and chat and get their questions answered that way. But the reality is there are a lot more customers who really want to try to do their own due diligence before they make a purchasing decision. And that means that your knowledge-based platform, your self-service area of your website needs to be stronger than it ever has before. And so who better to talk a little bit more about knowledge-based than Eldin Hajric at HelpJuice. So HelpJuice is their knowledge-based platform. Great guys. We were talking a little bit about today. Their user base extends from America to Australia, customers around the world who are using their platform. And I thought it'd be good today to kind of go through in a Q&A style and just talk a little bit about, like, you know, what does that mean when we talk about knowledge base? What is that? How does that differentiate from other platforms? How do you get one set up on your website? What are the best practices for organizing it? And then maybe even talk a little bit about how you incorporate live chat into your knowledge-based platform to make it more fully function for everybody. So Eldin, welcome to the webinar. Glad to have you on, man.
Thanks, Karl. Thanks. Love the intro. And you asked what is HelpJuice and kind of a little bit about us. Let me go ahead and see if I can take the screen from you. Give me 1 second. All right. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, looks good.
Perfect. So HelpJuice is a easy to use knowledge-based tool guaranteed to scale the amount of support you have. So we're based in Austin, Texas. You know, we started in 2011. A little bit of a background on us. You know, one main difference between us and, let's say, some of the competitors that in this market space is the fact that we're just a knowledge-based company. You know, we just do one thing and kind of one thing only, and that is the knowledge-based tool. And in doing so, we're able to scale support a little bit differently. The main differences between us, and I'll go into just a little bit of detail, is how the search works. So we have a traditional part of search and a auto-updating part of search. And you know, the level of customization that we offer for each knowledge base here. For example, help.poolster.com or Evertrue, we can see each knowledge base has a little bit of a different look and feel to it. And you know, that being said, you might ask yourself, well, what is a knowledge base? A knowledge base is a central repository for information. This information can be both internal or external. You know, with HelpJuice, you are able to have both a internal and a external knowledge base. If you're using a knowledge base internally, some of the benefits include let's call improved productivity. You're able to reduce the amount of training time you get. Also, collaboration is improved. Another cool thing that I've seen recently with startups, and this is an interesting tool, they're using it to have a reward system of sorts. So basically, the user that has the most article or edits the most article, they get a reward, a weekly reward or a monthly reward, and this is this is built there to kind of increase competition levels within the company, so that everybody's kind of striving to be the best and so forth. And for some external benefits, so to speak, external benefits include the ability to scale support. You know, inbound support emails, you're able to scale support. You know, we've seen some clients reduce the amount of support emails that they're getting by some 80%. So with HelpJuice, you're able to scale down the support. You're also able to have this self-serve support model so that users can immediately find what they're looking for without having to go in and contact support, write an email, and go from there.
Nice. Hey, Eldin, let me ask you a question too. So some people who might be listening are thinking, does getting a knowledge base on my website mean that I need to now build a bunch of pages into my website? Can you talk a little bit about how you actually, let's say you make this decision to get a self-service knowledge-based platform onto a site, like, you know, how does that work? Do I do it myself, or do I find a platform like HelpJuice to do that for me?
So the first, what we're talking about is kind of implementing a knowledge base, correct? Sure. So if we're talking about implementing a knowledge base, the first thing that you need to know is you need to understand who's your user group, right? You need to understand a little bit about your users. You need to understand, okay, who's using the product? Are these users used to emailing support? Are they used to, calling people? Are these people, if they had a knowledge base, would they know what to search on the knowledge base? That's the first thing that you need to understand. You need to understand what you're working with. After that, it's a matter of kind of structure within the knowledge base. You would need to organize the content so that it's in a category, subcategory layout. For example, this is our backend here. We can see that we have a bunch of different categories. Let's say getting started here. And if we open that up, we can see a bunch of different subcategories, so to speak. And within these subcategories, you're able to see, articles and stuff like that. So it's a matter of understanding your user groups, how they would be interacting with the knowledge base. It's a matter of organizing the structure so that there's categories, subcategories, and articles within these articles. And then it's also a matter of design. Not every design works the same for every user group. We get this complaint quite a lot. They set up a knowledge base of their own, but it just doesn't match. For example, let me walk you through help.fullstory.com here. What I like to think of this knowledge base design as, it's very flexible in the being that it's both action driven and search driven. So let's say I'm a user, I'm on fullstory.com, right? I'm on their website, and let's say I have some questions, right? Let's say I'm user group A, I know exactly what I'm searching for. I can easily go in and perform a search, find what I'm looking for, open up the result, and immediately, case resolved. Now let's pretend I'm a different user group. Let's pretend I don't know what I'm searching for. I just started using FullStory yesterday. I don't know what to search for. In this case, basically what we have is a bunch of different categories below. And then we also have, popular topics below, which easily allow the user to find what they're looking for. And I'll go into a little bit more detail that in there, but to recap, understanding your users, the structure, and design would help you implement.
And you talk a little bit about structure. I mean, what's a basic structure when you get started? What should be?
Well, the basic structure, first off, let's say that you already have some content in there. When we were just starting off 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and then the knowledge base started, 5 years ago when we actively launched it, what we did is we just had maybe 2-3 main categories, and that's it, just articles all over in these 3 categories. What we learned is, the user engagement levels fell down because it's not precise enough. People want to really pinpoint which category, subcategory, and article they want, which article and category relates to them. So to do that, our recommendation is to have a lot of categories. With HelpJuice, you can easily add as many subcategories and categories as you would want, just so that it's easier for your user to perform a search or to open up links and find what they're looking for. For example, let me just go back to this full story example. If I click on this, you can see that this is the category, and then you have common questions and user guides. If you're looking for a user guide, you have a list of articles here, which easily allows you to find what you're looking for on the knowledge base.
Okay, so it's kind of like an FAQ alongside of a how-to
exactly.
Set of links and articles and everything like that.
Exactly.
And where is this content coming from? If I'm a business owner, I'm writing all this content myself, or how is somebody generating the answers to this?
Sure.
Where are they getting this information from?
Sure. Well, to start off, you have some basic understanding of what people are searching for. You can go from there. Then if you're getting a lot of emails, you can go from there. If people ask these repetitive questions all the time, you can write that down and just put it in as a knowledge base article. What HelpJuice actually does is, if we go into our analytics panel here, we are actually able to track what people are searching for. And then based off these search results, you are actually able to go in and let's click on searches here. And you are actually able to see what people are searching for. Let's say if we click on, I don't know, maybe HelpJuice here, click on all these queries, we're able to see all of the search results that our users used. And what we do, every 2 weeks within our system, my team and I, we go through all these search results, and then we analyze and see if there's any missing article that we need to add to our knowledge base. And then we add it to the knowledge base, increasing support even more.
Very cool. And so once you get all this content going now, so you got a bunch of FAQ answers and you got some how-to guides going, again, as a business owner or small business owner who's out there,
Sure.
how am I evaluating whether or not these are resonating with the customers who are searching? How do I like evaluate the efficacy of the articles that I'm putting up in my self-service section?
Sure. Well, the knowledge base tool that you're using should have a analytics panel. For example, with HelpJuice, we have the questions panel. Within here, you can see which answers need to be improved. You can see a kind of a brief breakdown of views and readings of your articles. And basically here, this is basically what your users are going to be telling you. They're going to be telling you, they can give an article a dislike, they can give it a like, which will tell you some feedback. But you're also able to see what users are spending most time on, what are they liking the most, viewing the most, reading the most. For example, if you have a very lengthy article, one good tool is to have a quick navigation tool, something like this, for example. Let me just see if I can find it. All right, let's open up a category here, and let's open up an article. So once again, if you're looking to improve your articles and a metric says that you have a lot of users are spending a lot of time on this and this article, one thing that you should add is a quick navigation tool. Easily allows you to navigate from one point of the article to the other without losing focus. This improves user engagement levels and easily allows the user to say, okay, I trust it, I'm going to come back, I found what I'm looking for, this is the place to be, and really go from there. And honestly, you can also see some more analytics here where you can see likes, dislikes, when each article was last updated, and use all of this information to your advantage to improve your knowledge base even further.
Got it. Let me ask you this question. I'm gonna ask you to switch gears to an objective point of view.
Okay.
Just 2 seconds. So let's say maybe I'm a small business, super small budget.
Okay.
And I'm trying to like do this all on my own. Is there a way? It sounds like the key metric you want to keep an eye on in your help center is traffic or views to a particular help center page, right? Is there another way to keep an eye on that if I don't have an all-in-one platform like a HelpJuice or something like that? Is there a way you recommend any other sort of free software to kind of get a sense of whether people are reading articles or not?
Reading articles or not, as in if you already have a existing knowledge base or a existing support panel?
Yeah, I mean, let's say I built a help center page, and maybe could I go to Google Analytics and just say like, oh, okay, this one article is getting some decent traffic. That probably means it's a popular piece.
Yeah, I was about to mention that you could definitely integrate Google Analytics. Let's say you start off with a WordPress site. You can integrate some Google Analytics just to track some, track some basic numbers, and that should be enough to keep going. But once the knowledge base is fully geared up, you would need some more advanced analytics to really show you what's going on with the knowledge base. But for a starter role, Google Analytics and let's say even a WordPress site or something like that should prove good enough for starting off.
Got it. Okay. I got a question here from Mike. It seems like a good one, so maybe we'll take a tangent. Right. So Mike's asking about SEO implications, and he says, you're building new pages or new articles onto your site, so SEO implications seem like that's inherent to adding this new content. Are there any features in your platform, or is there anything you should be doing from a design standpoint to leverage SEO and maybe get some additional mileage, SEO boost out of having these pages on your site?
Sure. Well, by default, every knowledge base within HelpJuice is SEO compatible. The only thing perhaps that we would recommend just influencing the design a little bit, and this can easily be done in the customize panel. With HelpJuice, we offer a free service where we can easily customize the look and feel. Also concerning retaining your SEO values, recently we had a company, they sell electronics. They went from one knowledge base to HelpJuice. What they wanted to do was retain those SEO values onto their new platform. With HelpJuice, we're also able to do that to retain those SEO values. But this is more of a question from the client side. This is something that they would address. The only thing that we could do is make it SEO compatible and just influence the design a little bit to match the user branding of the company.
Got it. And I'd add to that too, Mike. I'd say one thing to be careful of when you're building a help center and it's going to have multiple pages built on top of each other, you're probably cloning the layout of pages and just duplicating the template and changing the content on the pages. Be really careful that you're not also duplicating the meta description or the page title for the just because as I understand it, you can get docked a little bit So maybe this is more of a self-management style rather than a platform that help you keep better organization of this. But be careful that you're not duplicating meta tags or meta description. You can duplicate tags, but your description should vary slightly to make sure it's explaining like what's actually on the page. So when a bot scans it, if it's seeing multiple meta descriptions that are identical, it's going to throw back an error on that. So I'd say that's one SEO thing to just be careful of as you start to build in more and more pages. And then Daniel had a question too, which I think is a good one. So in addition to liking or disliking an article, does the customer have the ability to send comments or suggestions?
Sure. Well, with HelpJuice, we can integrate Discuss, which will allow the user to, let's say, open up a, let's say, a article here. Let's just open up anything right now. And then below the articles, we could implement commenting below the articles so that the user can easily comment right below the article, and that way you can collect that feedback through Discuss. And I think that we have this on our blog. Let me just see here, show you how it looks. If I go onto blog.helpjuice.com and let's click on this article below. I don't think that a lot of people are going to be commenting on knowledge management articles, but let's just look at it real quick. Yeah, so here we go. We have comments below. And what we can do is every time we get a comment on one of our articles, we go in and we reply. And this is customizable, of course. If you want it in some areas of your knowledge base and not on others, we could easily do that as well.
Very cool. And I'd also add to that and just say, so enabling comments in your help section is probably really helpful in the very beginning because it's another avenue for customers to ask you questions, and you're going to get a sense of whether or not that answer is actually answering the person's questions, right? Like maybe there's some confusion about the wording that's on the page, and your comments section is going to kind of let you know that maybe something's not quite clear there. So the same way you're looking at live chat transcripts, you can also be looking at the comments on those pages. And in the beginning, first couple months that page, that help center page is up and running, that's a good area to gauge whether or not what you've done is working. I would caution you against keeping comments active for a really long period of time because it also then it kind of becomes another support channel that you have to monitor and could gobble up some of the bandwidth from your customer support team. There also may be like historical complaints that come in, and so a question or an issue with a feature that happened right when it rolled out 2 years ago might still be visible to a new user who comes on 2 years after the feature launch and is seeing these comments and is confused by when was this issue happening, right? So like, I think having comments on your help center is good.
Good earlier.
Up to a certain point, yeah. And then I think you should probably, once you feel like the page is optimized and it's getting everybody's question answered correctly, then maybe consider turning them off. Be my only.
Very good point.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, let's talk about this though, Eldin. So like, I'm a small business. How do I know it's time to like really start considering a knowledge base or like a self-service center on my website?
Sure. Well, if you find yourself answering these repetitive emails quite a lot, if you get these questions all the time and it's really just the same, let's say, set of questions, maybe it's time to just put it in a knowledge base, in a search-friendly knowledge base where users can go in, perform a search, and easily find what they're looking for without having to, talk to someone. And this will do two things. It will free up your time so that you can do other tasks instead of just support, and your users will also have greater engagement levels. For example, I know with one of our clients, this is a very specific use case. They had a team of maybe around 50 agents. The unique thing about this company was that their support agents were also their sales agents. Now, they didn't have a knowledge base. Their support agents, they weren't doing as many sales because they just had to do these repetitive support requests all day long. What we ended up doing was we implemented a knowledge base tool. 80%, and we did a case study about this, 80% of their support requests were handled by the knowledge base. And what this meant was they had now their support agents were doing sales. The company grew faster as a result, and they had a better support experience. So really, it comes down to if you're finding yourself repeating yourself all the time, or if you want to improve your customer support or improve the engagement levels with your product.
Nice. Eldin, let's talk then a little bit about like a HelpJuice. How does a HelpJuice and platform like HelpJuice and a platform like Olark
Mhm.
work in conjunction with each other? How do they help each other out, sort
Sure.
of as supplemental SaaS offerings to improve
Sure.
that customer experience?
Sure. Well, the knowledge base can only do so much, Now you can add all the contents you want. You can add, a lot of content, a lot of categories, a lot of subcategories. But every once and then, a user will come in with a very specific use case. I'm talking a very specific use case, like my laptop caught on fire while I was running or something like that. What do I do? And really, in that sense, only a person can help you, So we use Olark. We've been using Olark since we've been using it here, as you can see, and we implemented it. I think we used it in the past, and then we stopped a little bit, and then we also implemented it 2 months ago. Um, and if we go into the analytics part, I'll show you some interesting stuff concerning our analytics. So let's go in and click on a custom date. Uh, so from February 1st to March 13th. Okay, this was the date that we started. What do you call? How do you say? This was the date that we didn't have Olark. Okay, so we can see 3,000 emails being saved and 550 people contacting support. Now, email saved is our way of saying how many people found an answer, what they were looking for, and contacted support is how many people didn't find what they were looking for, had to go in and write an email, contact support, etc. Interesting fact: for an average cost for a help desk, agent to basically, what do you call it, to resolve a ticket is $22. So if you times this number by $22, you get a lot of money, just being spent on these tickets. Now let's look at after implementing Olark, and I'll show you how that worked out. So we implemented it on March 14th, I believe, and let's go to April 14th right now. So we'll see that on average, we scaled some 300 emails right here. So, so HelpJuice, we're not able to help every single user out there. What we are able to do is, since we implemented Olark, a lot more of our users, 300 emails, on a monthly basis, are being scaled just by having this little, just by having a chat tool. We have representatives around the clock, and what this allows us to do is have a better support experience. If somebody has any questions around sales, we can immediately help them out, and really go from there. But once again, to kind of recap, the knowledge base can only do so much. For every once in a while, there's a need for personalized touch of a human being, and that's really where we saw Olark coming in.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, a decrease in 300 emails in 1 month is certainly impressive. And I think that's a big concern for a lot of companies who sign up for Olark, that the volume of email and phone calls is getting to be a bit much. And so the hope is that live chat will cut down on that volume a little bit. So it's really interesting to see that actually happen in the real world. And I'll add to that too. And I'll just say, I've seen some knowledge bases that are, encyclopedias. They're the most thorough self-help centers that you can find. They have great answers. And a customer might actually find an answer to all of their questions in your knowledge base. But the last thing they want to know before they actually make a purchase with you is like, can I reach a real human? Like they just want that assurance that, okay, I got it. I know how I can return a product or whatever, but like, they're going to be a real human being here if another problem arises in the future. And sometimes it's just that little bit of love. You show them a little bit of love, and that's what's enough to kind of like tip them over, hit the tipping point, whatever. So,
and also one thing I forgot to mention. So let's say a user's on chat, right? So we recently built out this integration. Let's say I'm a user, I'm on chat. It's still to be in production, but let's say I'm a user. I'm going to start typing in install. As I start typing in install, what the future of HelpJuice and Olark will be. As I'm typing in these keywords, HelpJuice will integrate with Olark, and Olark will integrate with HelpJuice, so that Olark can pull articles from HelpJuice, so that immediately tickets can be resolved. And basically, this is aiding to that self-serve model where users go into the chat. They get, oh, your saw that your search query was about this. Have you checked out this and this article? They click on that, ticket resolved. No need for No need for somebody to go in and help them out. So
Yeah.
that's a cool integration that we're working on.
I think that's so awesome. I mean, we're big fans of the hybrid approach here. I think as we see more AI and chatbots come into the market, the ability to make the operator more efficient should be a top priority, right? Like, why turn over the conversation to a robot? Why not make the robots help the human who's having the chat and make them more efficient in their job before we try and like figure out a way to automate the entire conversation. So I love that. Those type of integrations are coming for us a little bit further down the road. I know you guys have it pretty much done, Eldin. And if you have more questions about that HelpJuice and Olark integration, we'll share our contact information at the end of this webinar. We'd be happy to tell you more about it. But we're really excited to get more of those out in the world. So Ryan Shearer actually asked a question here. We'll take a quick pause for it. He's asking, can inquiries from other platforms such as Facebook and Twitter be integrated into HelpJuice the same way they can with another competing platform like Salesforce or something like that?
At the moment, no. At the moment, no. It is on our product roadmap, but at the moment, no.
That's fair. I think so. It's still a bit of a manual management for that. Go through your Facebook questions or your Twitter questions and sift through those to figure out what's being asked most on social media.
Yeah.
Cool. And then let's see, Reagan asks a question. Any idea when that KB chat integrations with HelpJuice will be available? Yeah. Reagan, Eldin, the HelpJuice Olark integration is actually available, right? Like, it's up and running, or it's being worked on?
It's up and running. So if I type in Olark here, integrate with Olark, you can easily integrate with Olark so that, just like I mentioned, it still needs to be, what do you call it? It's in a beta phase, but it should be live as of end of this month. So that's actively live. But still, it's in beta, so you could technically use it for now.
Eldin, how should somebody contact you if they want to like get on the list for beta trying that out?
Sure. What I'll do is if you go on to helpjuice.com, we have a support email, and if you just go on to that support email, you can easily sign up, and you'll be subscribed to a newsletter from us.
Okay, very cool. And thanks for those questions, Ryan and Reagan. Hopefully we answered those for you. We also had another question. This one came in over email before the webinar. A gentleman by the name of Stuart Smith at Blue Zinc was asking, how do businesses get their customers to interact more with the knowledge base? So once you've gone through the process of building a knowledge base FAQ section, how do you get your customers to actually start using it and get them over to it and let them know that it's even there?
Yeah, Stuart, this is really a great question. And it really comes down to design and understanding your users, right? So let's talk about design. With HelpJuice, you have access to the source code. You have access to our team. They can easily help you customize the look and feel to match any use case. Recently, we customized one knowledge base to have 192 sub-knowledge bases all under one roof, so that each sub-knowledge base has its different branding and different content, which in return improved user engagement levels with the knowledge base. So design is one thing. You really want to make sure that it matches their user groups. Now, understanding your users, this is something a little bit different. You need to understand, okay, who are the user groups? Is it a older demographic? If it's a older demographic, are they used to, I don't know, calling someone, emailing support? What are they used to? And if they're really not used to performing kind of knowledge-based searches, one thing I would recommend is having a lot of actionable items. For example, these popular topics that I mentioned. Let me see here. Let's see if I can open up. Let me just see if I can open up an example here. I have an example of what I would like to show. One sec. Yep, here we go. Let's say recent updates. Recent updates made to an article. That can also be extremely helpful. Or not even a knowledge base. What if we had a widget as a knowledge base? So what we have is a tool called Swifty. Swifty easily allows you to go in and have a floating little widget on any page. That way a user can go on there and click on the app, perform a search, and within the same page find what they're looking for. So to answer the question, it's all about design and understanding your users. And with HelpJuice, since we only do knowledge bases for the past 6 years, we're more than happy to assist you with guidelines on how to reach your demographics.
Nice. And I'd add to that too. We've talked about this a little bit on the Olark side of things. We have a shortcuts feature in our platform, and you may want to, once you start to figure out what are the most highly trafficked knowledge-based articles, you may want to take those links and drop them into your shortcuts for your team, so that in your chat responses, if they keep coming back with the same questions or similar questions, then it's quick and easy for your chat operators to also either push a visitor there or remind them that article, the self-help article is there. And in that way, you kind of train your users to go there first and try to find their questions before they come onto your chat. So that's a quick and easy way to like recall those knowledge-based links and make sure they get in the hands of your users. Mike had a question here. He asks, are there any examples of video integration? So, I guess it's like if you're building a knowledge base, sometimes you want video, right? I mean, it's going to be, it's a nice, like, personable way to approach people who end up there. So do you have any examples of integrating video with HelpJuice or in a knowledge base?
Sure, we do. So the first thing that you start off is within the article panel. If you click on new article here, type in your question title or whatever, let's say how to install HelpJuice. Let's say choose a collaborator, just somebody else to work with you on the article. You can easily go in and after writing up some text or something, you can easily click on insert video. You can copy paste the URL code or copy paste the embed code, or even upload the video directly here within HelpJuice. An example of this, let's perform a search. Let's type in video here. Why isn't the video? I might have to, let's just see here. Yeah, I'm not finding any results, but you should be able to, easily embed the video and easily have a video instead of an article. What we've seen is some clients, they don't even have articles. They just have a list of videos which walk the user through the tool. And the use case for this is not to scale support. It's not to reduce the amount of support emails that they're getting. It's purely to educate the users. So they're using a knowledge base to educate their users on their platform. So videos is a great approach within a knowledge base.
Nice. So we're getting relatively close here to the end of the webinar. I just want to remind anybody who's still on with us that if you have questions, feel free to shoot them over in the chat. We're trying to go through those as they come in. Okay, Craig from Vidyard's got a question. He says, oh yeah, sure. Craig's just saying, and Mike, this is a response to you in the chat. If you want to get in touch with a video production or a video platform, they can help you out there too. So
definitely, we would definitely recommend Vidyard.
Yeah.
So they also have a knowledge base with us. Vidyard is a great tool. Definitely check them out.
Yeah, absolutely. Love the Vidyard team. Most of them are out in Vancouver, I believe. But
Exactly.
Great team.
So shout out to Vancouver.
Shout out to Vancouver, man. So any other questions? Feel free to shoot them here in the chat. But Eldin, what about the future of HelpJuice and the future of knowledge base software? What's coming down the line this year and maybe into 2018?
One word, and it's integrations. One thing that we realized is, if you're dealing with large internal teams, they use GitHub, they use Evernote, they use this, they use that. Pulling data out of that and putting it into one place is the biggest reason. Well, not the biggest reason. It's one of the reasons why people don't, want to make that move. It's just a lot of work. And, with HelpJuice, we try to ease this transition by allowing our team to go in and import all the files for you. Just give us the files, we'll import all of it for you. Or you can even import it yourself by clicking here and, clicking on file import or clicking on Zendesk or Help Scout here. But what we really want to do is have, HelpJuice, integrated with, all the tools out there, such as, let's say, we already built out a Salesforce integration, then we want to build a GitHub integration. We're building a Slack integration right now. We just want to have HelpJuice integrate with a lot of different apps so that your internal teams can easily collaborate within, HelpJuice. That would be the future of HelpJuice, just integrations.
Yeah, I love it. I think the standalone platforms that do that are doing things right, that are doing them the right way. I mean, you guys have a great product, got a great API from what I know. I think there is a lot of camaraderie between SaaS platforms who are trying to play nice with others and make sure that our users sometimes come in with an existing platform already implemented and they don't want to change their other team in another division off of using what they love. So why not give them a product that works seamlessly with that other platform that somebody's already using? Don't make them change their organization just to use your platform. Work with what they got, right? So
Exactly.
awesome, love it. I don't know, Eldin. I don't think I have any other questions here in chat. I guess any other parting thoughts or any last sign off thing that we didn't get a chance to cover today that you want to cover with everybody?
Just I forgot to mention just about the search. So we introduced a new technology. It's called contextual awareness. Contextual awareness basically tracks user information such as what is the user searching for, which article did the user open, and basically uses that information to auto update the search. Karl, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but back in the early 2000s, you go on a knowledge base, you perform a search. It was traditionally based on just a keyword search. You type in a search, you get thousands and hundreds of results. And that's what we're trying to limit. We're trying to get contextual awareness in there so that you get the results that actually apply to you.
Awesome, great. Sorry, I had the mute button, couldn't find it there. But that's great though. I mean, I think that's giving our users, I mean, you saw that in the beginning of our presentation with the better search function there, and with what you're doing, I think giving our users more power to get that qualitative data out of their platform is just so valuable. So it's awesome. Evan at Vidyard had a quick question. So he was saying, will we be able to search HelpJuice from the Olark chat window soon? So I think Eldin was saying that integration we had talked about before, the HelpJuice and Olark integration, should be coming in the next month or two, it sounds like, if you wanted to shoot, that sound right? Yeah. And if you wanted to shoot a note to support at HelpJuice, was that it, Eldin?
Evan, I think I already have your email. One thing I can do is I can easily send you the following information on this. It's already, it's already built out. We would love to have you guys, test it out and see how it works on your knowledge base.
Absolutely, very cool. All right, well, listen, everybody, that just about does it, I think. We covered a lot of ground today, I know. And Eldin, if there's follow-up questions or anything like that, where can people send you a quick note if they had something that you
sure
that we didn't get a chance to get a question answered for them?
Sure, support at helpjuice.com would work best. Let me just see here if I can type it in the chat.
And then while you do that, my email address is Karl, Karl, at olark.com. I'm happy to help out too if you have any Olark questions.
So support at helpjuice.com. I'm having some issues here with yeah. Thanks, Karl. I can always rely on you.
I got you back, man. Well, listen, everybody, thank you very much. I think that does it for us today. I want to thank you for joining. We're going to send out a recorded version of this probably tomorrow if I can get it edited. I want to let you know that we've got a couple other webinars coming up over the next few weeks. Next week, we're actually going to be talking about personalization in email. And later this month in May, we're going to talk a little bit more about CRMs. So you'll want to come back to that too, and we'll send you all the information on that. But Eldin, it was awesome having you on here. Thank you very much for all you guys are doing. I love it. I love the HelpJuice product, the integration, everything was awesome. We're looking forward to more great stuff from you this year. So thanks everybody for joining. I'm actually going to leave this channel open. I'm going to, we'll wave goodbye for now, but I'll leave it open and stay on for just a little while longer as people start to filter out and go get lunch. So thanks everybody for joining.